All right, Shania, Ohio, everyone. This is Shania Chan coming back at you with another video. So as you know, I'm a VTuber, and if you are a VTuber, and let's face it, you probably are. There's more people VTubing than there are watching VTubers at this point. Uh, so if you're a VTuber, you probably know that the most important part about VTubing is not streaming, it's not creating content, it's networking. Uh, really inserting yourself into the community, getting to know everyone, familiarizing yourself with all the wacky, zany, colorful characters in the community. And that's what I've been up to for the past week. Now, in the past couple days, there's been a lot of drama surrounding a couple chubas, a couple of my fellow chubas, and I figured that I would take a deep dive because you're all great. You're all great VTubers. You're all great content creators, but I don't think you're really capable of taking as deep a dive into this as I am because I'm a grown woman. I've got my hands dirty quite a few times. I know what it's like to be deep in the muck of the internet. So you guys, I know there are a lot of people who want to cover this, but you got to keep your hands clean. But I, Shania Chan, will take one for the team, and we'll talk about this. All right, so I came across a tweet the other day by some guy named like Kongo Tetsu Saya Kongo Tetsu Saya, who's talking about how there's this a VTuber named Ziassan who was a groomer, allegedly a groomer, and he posted some fucking Google Doc that like is really long and he expects people to read. And then Ziassan today posted his own really long Google Doc. That's yeah, this is a lot of shit to go over. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go over all these. We're gonna compare and contrast these two documents on the first episode of Groomer Alert! Groomer Alert! Groomer Alert! Woo! Woo! All right. So the very first episode of Groomer Alert. So we're gonna do this. So let's just jump into it. So this is Kongo Tetsusaya's his Google Doc. So we'll start with accusations first, and then we'll move on to the refutations. All right. So here we go. This is a public warning to the VTuber community about a man going by the name of Ziassan. Really cool name, by the way. You know someone. You know someone's really cool and extreme when they got like a Z name or like an X. That's sick. Already I like Ziassan more than Kongo Tetsusaya. Those K names. Who cares? Who cares about a K? It's all about the Z. So Ziassan, who is prolific in several VTubing spaces as both a viewer and recently as a streamer himself. While I may know him as a friend, they're friends. The information provided in this document has revealed him as a predator and danger to at least one member of this community. In brief, Ziassan, a man around his late 20s, is a self-professed lolicon, who groomed and attempted to coerce a 13-year-old girl, who we will address as Jane Doe, into an inappropriate sexual relationship. So, all right, first of all, this Jane Doe, I'm pretty sure is another VTuber named Carol, some kind of Carol. I don't know, another pedophilic. I don't know. We'll read on. This document will seek to organize the evidence found against him in a way that reveals his tactics, so that anyone else who may have interacted with him in our community can be safe and informed. Many names will be changed to protect the innocent or those involved without awareness of the situation. Do not attempt to contact the victim herself, in bold. do not. All right, so 1. The victim's true age. By her admission, Jane Doe was posing as a 16-year-old girl in order to enter gaming tournaments. This persisted when she entered the VTuber community as a streamer. Ziassan joined Jane's Discord server on December 31st, 2020, and shortly after began to socialize with her publicly and privately with this in mind. So, he's under the impression that she's 16, not 13. Huge difference. 16-year-olds. Wow, they're so much more mature than those 13-year-olds. Ziassan was aware of the victim's age by January 12th, 2021. Important date? Maybe. By this point, he had been speaking with her regularly, both privately and through her public Discord channels. Much more evidence of him knowing her true age can be found here. And this links to proof victim is 13. Let's see, what do we got? Proof number 1. Our guild was way before blah, 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 blah. Also, we started getting noticed by actual teams. That's when internal chat freaked out and purged all evidence of me being 13. I wonder if I would have debuted as 13 if no one... Okay. Let's see. Ziassan says, it sucks, but I don't see how it could really be better too. Like I'm sorry, but it's hard to read this shit because these people type like fucking retards. Lying I'm 18? I guess. Prob better than lying about 16. Okay, what else we got? Evidence. Where's the evidence? All I see is a bunch of autism. Give me the damn evidence. Harlots, blah, blah. If you admitted to your therapist that you said this and that to a 13-year-old, where the fuck would you be? You wouldn't be in your own house. You wouldn't be getting help. You'd be getting your ass clapped by Tyrone. How do a 13-year-old... I remember it. Yeah, not seeing a lot of context here. So let's just get back to the doc. All right. So he's got chapter 2, inappropriate, manipulative, and grooming behavior. Before knowing her true age of 13, Zia had been eager to share lolicon pornography in her public Discord server. And we got proof right here. Linking her to nhentai.net. With less than consensual pornography. Okay. Just sharing porn with a kid. Whatever. Typical French thing to do. Proof 2. Let's see. Lolita comicalized. Pretty niche work. It's interesting if you read the initial famous book, Lolita. Uh-oh. It's a very nice Doujin version of it. The text is from... Oh, okay. So already a little suspicious, a little suspect. He also had no problem privately sending her 18-plus Doujin pornography. Yeah, I'm not going to bring that up. After discovering her age and discussing his sexual kinks with her. 3. So allegedly January 21st is when he found out that she was 13, right? That's what it said. January 12th. Oh. And this is January 16th. So he knows that she's 13 years old, apparently. And talking about how he wants to see a girl lose her senses and dignity to the mighty dick, I guess. All right. So he sent her porn after discovering her age and discussing his sexual kinks or tricks for manipulating people. 4. Whole lot of stuff here. Let's see. So obviously, it really depends on the person, but I'd say it's easier to play into a naive person, ideal and sound confident and leading. Also being harsh with them, jokingly or teasing, but still going for the right compliment, something that compliments something they're proud of, but too shy to brag about. Noticing small changes. Okay, so this is just straight up some MRA shit. That's fine. Little pedophile MRA. You know, there's still game theory for picking up kids, probably, right? In France, I assume. He encouraged her to engage in inappropriate behavior, such as writing 18+ fan fiction for an online forum. Proof number 5. So they're confirming you have a bunch of cringe in your head. Omega lol. Oh, I love when people say that. Omega lol. Pretty cringe, bro. Hey, I have a question. Should I go on 4chan and write out gruesome fanfics for VTubers? Just slam it on there? And he says, haha, you can, sure. They like fanfics. Well, encouraging creativity, I guess. He says, if they knew a 13-year-old girl was writing that, they would lose their mind for sure. But fanfictions are welcomed, yes. Okay. I mean, you know, a little weird, but, you know, encouraging creativity. So let's see. He also had no issue expressing his suicidal ideation to a child and often used suicide as a way to manipulate her. More in section 4. God, I can't wait for section 4. What section are we on now? 2? Great. More of his inappropriate behavior can be found here. Okay, so let's see his let's see his suicide note. Let's see what's going on here. So I guess I'll just skip to the red line. Who cares about context, right? Yeah, I can't lie. I did consider ending it with an overdose, but pussied out. Wow. Terrible. Talking about wanting to kill himself. Wow. The more I read this, the more I'm starting to side with the French pedophile, which is I don't know. I think that says more about you, Kongou Tadekimasu, than it does anything else. Do a better job putting these Google Docs together. It's not very cohesive, not very coherent. I really know what the fuck I'm reading. Let's see. Use suicide as a way to manipulate her. Let's see. Ziassan says, going to tribunal, lose my job, being labeled as sexual offender forever. What is the context here? And she says, no, but the question is, who the hell is going to put you there? And he says, prob killing myself at some point, I guess. Where's the context? What does any of this mean? What are you doing, Congo? Just give us the full logs if you're gonna post this shit. More of his inappropriate content can be found here. All right, that's a full folder. Probably can't show that on YouTube. Let's move on. Ziassan was well aware of the immorality and illegality of his actions, and even expressed to Jane his fear of getting cancelled for sending pornographic materials to a minor. All right, let's see. She says, VTuber for all the necrophiles. I think you do well, son. Uh-oh. And he says, I'd probably be canceled in no time. Haha. Yeah. And she says, why would you get canceled? And he says, that guy got screenshot of me sending you Dow Jins before the chat was privated. And she says, is that something to get canceled over? He says, I'm sure he's sitting on those in case I ever want to do anything. Quote, sent porn to a minor. Yes. Yeah, Ziassan, why are you sending porn to a minor? Why are you hanging out with a minor? I think it says a lot about you that you gotta hang out with kids, even if you don't know they're kids. Just the fact that the people you most get along with are like mentally fucking like 13 years old. I don't know. But I don't know. A lot of VTubers and people who like VTubers are definitely on the autism spectrum. So a little mentally and emotionally stunted. Let's keep going. Pedophilic behavior. Ziassan has privately admitted, in no uncertain terms, that he has pedophilic tendencies and repeatedly used textbook grooming tactics to appeal to Jane Doe, i.e., you're so mature for your age, and you could pass for older, and 16-year-old girls are most fertile. They are so numerous and pervasive that they speak for themselves. He admits that his age range of attraction, parentheses AOA, is 13 to 15. Okay, let's see. Three things of evidence that he likes 13 to 15-year-old girls. No, I wanted to correct you. I feel... See, this is all fucking nonsense. Younger, 13 to 15, probably starting here, yeah. Well, people grow up differently. No context. You really need the rest of the conversation to understand what's happening, Congo. I don't know what to tell you. Let's try proof 2. If someday I was presented with a similar situation and the teen was very proactive about it, I'd probably be tempted to let her continue while knowing it's super wrong. Okay. I don't think you really need context for that one. Not like it's gonna happen, obviously. Don't worry. I'm not gonna get raped by a kid. I don't go outside. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. Proof number 3. He says, Ziassan says, it's fine. It's just that for men, it's very valued as a sign of success, with which, I do have experience, but never got that far because the girl at the time thought it was too early, so mostly foreplay. I just ate her pussy, and then she said, all right, see ya. I thought my last relation was it, but yeah. And with the 15-year-old she wanted, but I actually refrained. Maybe I should have just went for it. I should have, thinking about it. All right. So he very nobly refused to have sex with a 15-year-old, but is now saying, I should have just fucked that kid, whatever. All right, Ziassan. Very quickly discovering that there are no parties in this that are really worthy of any kind of sympathy. This is great. This is a fantastic trash fire. He admits that his age range of attraction is 13 to 15, and that his preference lies in the minor going from quote immaturity to knowledge. Parentheses, which implies his AOA could start even lower. I don't know what that... Thanks for clearing that up, Congo. 5. What is this proof? Then there are people who are attracted mentally to immaturity. I guess it's closer to me. Not quite, but not far. I like the moment where the mind of someone goes from immaturity to knowledge. specifically because the vast majority of such teens are indeed vulnerable. Okay. Very weird. Also very weird to be sharing this with someone you believe to be a child. After confessing to Jane, he admits that he does not see his attraction to her as criminal. He says, like if it was ever possible that I met someone not adult, where both parties are totally happy and fulfilled with it, etc., I probably wouldn't think of myself as a criminal, even if I would be. Just speaking hypothetically. Yeah. Nobody who is a pedophile wants to think of themselves as a pedophile. That's why they call themselves stuff like lolicon. He says, I see. Well, I don't exactly align my principles with the law, so depending on the situation, it's different for me. Yeah. Fuck the law, fuck the police, smoke weed, blaze it. Don't fuck kids though. That's the one part of the law that you should probably abide by. He tells her that he finds her bratty behavior appealing, even if it horrifies her to be seen that way. Many more of his pedophilic comments can be seen here. Let's skip the bratty thing. We'll go right into the pedophile stuff. I know you don't like hearing this, but you could totally pass up as an adult if you wanted, albeit a slightly immature and very energetic one. Okay? Very, very mature for your age. What else we got? Shit we already read. Shit we already read. All right, fuck it. Back to the dog. You missed your chance, Kongou. All right, chapter 4. Love, confessions, obsession, and threats. This is cool. It's like a detective novel. If only the rest of it was written as well as the chapters. The chapter titles are gripping. I don't know what the rest of this shit is. So here is an attempt at a timeline and a series of screenshots following their interaction during and after Ziassan confesses to Jane. Note: his edited message where he calls her a, quote, fucking brat was a love confession that he edited out after she rejected his advances. Oh. So, we got some bullet points. First bullet point. Ziassan confessed his feelings to Jane Doe on January 15th, 3 days after learning her real age. He was rejected in no uncertain terms, but continued to interact with her until she blocked him 3 days later after expressing her discomfort. Let's see. You're a fucking brat. Hold on, let me move this over so you can see it. Yeah, there we go. He says, you're a fucking brat. Edited love confession. Well, how am I supposed to know it was a love confession if there's no rest of it? And she goes, oh, wow. That was just fucking out there. I'm sorry, that's not an ideal reaction. He says, but I can keep my distance, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, my love. I can wait for you. And she goes, I don't want to know what love is, man. That's cool and all. I'm sorry, Zia-chan. I can't butter you up a bit more. Even if I liked you back, here's the big issues. Long term, shit like this never works. There is no exception. It is impractical and fucked in every way. And he says, I hope that doesn't break it to you. I'm fine with just banter and caring. I'm fine with just caring about you. My precious, my prize. She says, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's my fault anyways. Smiley face. Ziassan says, maybe it's from being physically and emotionally starved for a few years anyway. Oh. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. Whenever I can't get my dick wet for a couple of years, I just go right to grooming teenagers. Anyway, she says, go cry about it on Twitter and say the yucky, blanked out, groomed you as innocent as you were, Ziassan might be. I'm giving you a lot of daily attention. But don't you talk to people like this as well? I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right, bored already. Back to the doc. Proof 3. Let's see. I did fall more just because of the vocal reveal, which sucked as far as timing goes. So he heard her vocal reveal and he goes, "Oh, that fake anime voice that this child is putting on is so sexy and beautiful, and I just want to marry that voice." Wow. And he says, "I understand if you can't forgive it, but I hope you can understand. I got carried away in the moment, and I won't ever get that idea anymore." And then written right next to this, like, so just in case you can't read between the lines yourself, in case you're fucking stupid. This is, as you'd expect, a blatant lie. Thanks. Thanks. I personally have a hard time looking at proof and stuff and really understanding what's happening. I need it spelled out for me. Thank you so much, Kongou. So, she unblocked him on the 28th and began speaking with him again. Until February 9th, when he suicide baited her. She blocks him again. Let's see. Proof. Yeah, fuck it. Whatever. I'm not fucking... Too many caps, too much bullshit. Don't care. She reached out to her moderator at the time. Lich's Sorcerers. So many cool names these people have. Who held many of Zia's same beliefs on age of consent in minors. He coerced her into unblocking him and attempted to convince her to be in a relationship with him. In parentheses, Ziassan. Oh, wow, what a fucking roller coaster of autism this is. Groomers on groomers on groomers. God. Gotta love it. When approached for advice, Liches gives her options to deal with having Zia around. Note that among his, quote, options are cutting off contact with him is not presented as an option. You can't just block Zia. He's in love with you. You can't spurn a man in love. Lich's Sorcerer, blah, I don't fucking care. He also discourages her from talking to anyone else. A child can be with an adult, it's fine. Okay, that sounds like a good good quote. Your whole identity is wrong from the outside perspective. Blah blah blah. Where's that quote? Sex, scary, hentai is art, and I like playing hopscotch with weak Kung. God, just fucking put the relevant links where you say that they are. It's so hard. Most people are probably not ready, but then you have a horny at 16, and I don't understand, but fucking molded your... Oh, I just want to get on here and say, fuck these pedophiles. But where's the like the proof? Jesus, Kongou, dropping the fucking ball. I haven't even got to the. I haven't got to the Google the response Google Doc, which is twice as long. All right. We'll just blow through the rest of this. He suggests she would enjoy living or being with Zia. He guilted Jane into being with Zia and suggested that they were both children and that she could use female pronouns for him to feel safe. Valentine's confession. Notice the negging nature of his compliments. Evidence that oh my god. Chapter 5. Leich's sorcerers, or who he appears to be. This is an extended section on Leich's sorcerers. Oh, thank God. I wanted to know all about Leich's sorcerers. First evidence that Leich's sorcerers did also know that Jane Doe was 13. All right, let's see. He says, also, I'm not serious, but for fan fiction time. Hearing about your super shit situation at home. You got a stable job and an apartment and all. Time to escape from blank and live in France and stream all day long with food and stuff. If I was young and a girl. Where's the part about her being 13? He just says she's young. Oh, this is a mess. Fucking mess. Alright. Jane modded Lichess to her channel because he was fairly inoffensive and polite. Yeah, good reason to give anybody moderator powers. Oh, you're polite? You're inoffensive? Great. Exactly the kind of person I want policing the speech in my Discord server. Anyway, that's a little tangent I won't go off on, but it was not until she banned Ziassan that they spoke more and his behavior became more concerning. As mentioned, Lichess held a suspiciously similar amount of similar ideas towards minors as Zia, and often expressed them openly with Jane. He also, as shown above, went out of his way to defend Zia to Jane, or defend Zia on certain issues, especially with regards to an illegal relationship between the two. The most important part is that he goes out of his way to encourage or to discourage Jane from talking with any authorities. Much of this can be seen in the section above. Don't go to the cops. There's distributing porn as a law over here at least, and it's wrong to give such to a minor. Sure, but trust me, while it's technically not allowed, it's such a low level that unless the person is a public figure, no one's gonna bother. Police barely bother. Yeah. Don't go to the cops about that guy grooming you. They're not gonna do shit. Just trust me. I'm only his friend, but I'm your friend too, and I'm here to help you. He says, yeah, you'll be hard pressed to get anything, even if someone got a minor. You'll be hard pressed to get anything, even if someone got a minor nudes over Discord. Why can't these people just type coherently? And she goes, reputation-wise, you could get fucked over, but with the law? And he says, yeah, that's basically it. Well, Ziassan, reputation's fucked, so, oops. The entire collection of Leich's sorcerer's screenshots can be found here. God, I can't wait to take a look at those. Evidence of Ziassan admitting to Jane Doe that he uses a sock puppet to watch her streams can be found here. Don't care. Notice how disturbed Jane is in screenshot number 3, and how in number 5 he openly admits he used the sock puppet account because she would be uncomfortable with him there otherwise. In screenshot 6 and 7, Jane makes a realization that Ziassan ignores, but brings much of what Leichess has done in defense of Zia into a new perspective. Leichess acted similarly to Zia, with the exception of being much more openly pedophilic and coercive. Here's a link of every relevant screen cap, blah blah. Personal comments from Kongou. 1. The information typed down in this document was arranged by a professional acquaintance of mine, but you can consider the words said here as my own. A professional! This was put together by a professional. Just let that sink in. Holy shit. As you can plainly see, Ziassan is a worm, and is the worst kind of person possible. I am beyond certain that he and Lych's sorcerers are the same person, meaning that he cornered Jane from multiple angles, internationally. Oh. Alright. I feel like you could put something like this together without all the fucking hyperbole and maybe come out of it with a more compelling case. But hey, you do you, professional, Mr. Professional. If you have any questions, DM me at twitter.com/Kongou VTuber, and I will almost certainly answer it. All right, so that took a really long time to get through. Honestly, I'm not 100% convinced. There's a lot of context missing. A lot of seems like edited, just purposely taken out of context screen caps. I don't know. I just read this entire thing. I still have no idea what the fuck I just read. Other than, so the one conclusion that I can draw from this is that Ziassan is definitely a fucking pedophile. I mean, he's looking at lolicon. He's sending it to a kid. He's talking about how he wants to make a child mature and knowledgeable. He wants to convert them from their innocence to being more worldly. Yeah, you're definitely a pedophile, Ziassan, and you should definitely I don't know how to say it without getting banned, but you should do something that you know what I'm gonna say. Anyway, so let's move on to Ziassan's defense, called Sarah Good and I, which I assume is some kind of dox. He's doxing her. Sarah Good. Can't call her Jane Doe. She's Sarah Good. You know, even just for the sake of consistency, Ziassan, just call her Jane Doe. We want the same name so we can know what the fuck you're talking about. All right, sorry. Preamble and summary. On the 25th of March, I was the target of serious accusations that resulted in a ban from multiple communities and harassment that even reached my personal life and caused serious harm. Uh-oh. You gonna sue? Is the French fucking pedophile gonna sue? Oh. God forbid. Somebody call a guy who looks at lolicon a fucking pedophile. God. That would be terrible. How will you ever recover professionally from that? Even though you go on your personal public account and are a pedophile. Anyway. Let's see. In this document, we'll present proof that the vast majority of the evidence the document used was either doctored or out of context. Let me try to reread that sentence and see if it actually makes sense. In this document, we'll present proof that the vast majority of the evidence the document used was either doctored or out of context. Holy. Can nobody in this community write? Are you all just fucking retards? What is this? In this document, we'll present proof that vast majority of the evidence the document used was either doctored or out of context. In this document, we'll present proof. In this document, we'll present proof that the vast there's no way for this to possibly make sense. I fucking hate both of these people, honestly. Current assumption is that the person who published the document was fooled and acting rashly. Said person even acknowledged the document to have issues, but still refused to take it down. I went over my logs live on stream as proof of their authenticity. So let's see. Kongou reply. He says, Kongou says, when I made the document, I said that I'd take responsibility for anything written inside. I stand by that. And though I agree that a handful of evidence is out of context due to this method of collection, I trawled through the logs across a day or so. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to post all this potentially career life ending information. I just wanted to ruin your life, but I didn't want to. I want to waste my time doing it. I only spend a day. I only spend a day. Anyway, Ziassan says, everything is in the trash now, since no matter what, I can't come back to the community, even if everything was removed. But a document with at least half falsehood in it that will continue to cause harm in the future should not be left available on your Twitter regardless, especially if you want, quote, nothing to do with me. Kongou replies, reasonable enough. I'll consider taking it down, if only because you're not wrong that these are context issues. And then later he says, unfortunately, I won't be taking the document down. I have certain proof that what I saw wasn't wrong, but I'll leave it at that. I hope the rest of your life goes well. Yep, smell you later, pedophile. So let's see. To preserve some of their anonymity, we don't want to preserve all of it. I will call the person initially claimed to be the victim Sarah Good. That person's main activity was playing a character and broadcasting themselves doing various tasks under said character, also called VTubing. Hey, that's me, I'm a VTuber. As I was completing the document, this isn't written in red, just a quick update. As I was completing this document, Sarah Good deleted her own Discord, changed her Discord name, and deleted all her content, making it much harder to gather evidence. Oh. Really makes you think. Okay, so those accusations made toward me mainly focus on the act of grooming, inappropriate interactions with someone assumed to be a minor, and the use of sock puppet accounts for manipulation. Are these links? Nope, just underlined for some reason. These are very serious charges. I like how never does he actually deny being a pedophile. But he didn't groom her, and everything was appropriate, I guess. These are very serious charges. The document, consisting of mostly blacked out screenshots of text conversations, can be found at the end of this paper. I deny most of the accusations, not all of them. And while the reality still may not be all great and glamorous, the accusations painted, in my opinion, a much darker, sickening, and slanderous picture of it. Following those events, I also have been the target of serious harassment and threats that will lead to legal proceedings from my side. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, who are you gonna sue? You gonna sue someone for calling you a pedophile on Twitter? You gonna sue someone for saying that you groomed a child when there is evidence of you sending inappropriate content to a child. So, let's see. I will try to link to evidence when relevant, despite obvious issues to guarantee the authenticity of everything, unless it's literally brought to a legal case. As this document will be freely accessible and most of its content is sensitive/private, some parts will be censored, including her name and mine. And most of its content, in the name of some people involved. All right. For reasons unknown to me, she changed her name multiple times over the course of the last month. Since I took the screenshots at different dates, her censored name will start differently with an A, G, 9, or M. I am, however, willing to provide an uncensored version to people I can 100% trust. This may include video recording of me going through said logs. Keep in mind, around 40,000 messages were exchanged. 70% of them and from the rest, 70% of them and the rest from me between September of 2021 and what? Between fucking Europeans. It's a lot to summarize. Anyway, following the release of the initial document, speculation took place in anonymous boards, and that was the subject of heavy harassment. People looking for any private information they could find, including my real name, address, workplace, friends, and more. Multiple of my IRL acquaintances got contacted. I got anonymous calls and multiple death threats as well. I want to see the death threats. Let's see. Move this over a little bit. Would someone dox him already so I can go to France and stab him to death? I want my peace and quiet back. That's funny. It's not a death threat. Don't worry, there is already a man in France who knows where he lives and that he might kill him at any time. I mean, that's funny. Ziassan, don't be a bitch. You know how this website works. Death threats. Oh my fucking lord. We haven't even started. We haven't even gotten to chapter 1 yet. Oh boy. Alright, chapter 1. This is the gist of my stance. I had good reasons to think Sarah Good was an adult. Provided by herself, and I'm still pretty sure she is, unless provided with undeniable evidence that she's not. She clearly said it herself to me and in public, and talks that mentioned a different age later were part of the roleplay tied to her character, often out of context, which will be revealed later. The relationship was anything but me, quote, grooming her. Not only I didn't use the manipulative tactics described, if anything, the other party was often the one insistent on pursuing the interaction, as it will be shown. I made no move toward, quote, coercing into a sexual relationship as mentioned. There's literally no instance of that ever. I may actually have been the one on the receiving end of something. Actually, I wasn't the one grooming the child. The child groomed me. Really makes you think. I did indeed maintain interaction with someone mentally unstable while being myself in a dire mental state without asking enough proof of their claimed age. I was just in a really bad place, you know. Sometimes when I get sad, the only people I can vent to are 13-year-olds. My current assumption is that the person, unstable mentally and unable to handle her conflicted feelings / coexisting with me in the same community, tricked someone in a position of trust with partially falsified information to remove me definitely from their mind and sight. Big if true. So this is part A of chapter 1, and this is part 1 of chapter A from part 1. Holy fuck. This is probably the most critical point and the one that needs explanation the most. Like, if you're gonna try to refute these accusations, don't you think you would, like, I don't know, read what you're writing over a little bit and make sure that there's not just a bunch of words missing that make the sentences not make sense? This probably the most critical point and the one that needs explanation the most. The initial document claims Sarah Good was 16 and then 13, and that I was aware of it. While I admit several points can make this look confusing, and that because of this, I should have not interacted with her, yeah. However, I had good reason to think I was talking with an adult, that I will go into detail, including her own statements. Oh. So I think of that. One important point to understand first is the nature of role-playing and VTubing. Oh god. For those unfamiliar, the idea is for entertainment purposes to play a character that isn't yourself. to act this character as if it was you, not constrained by personal or identity issues. Most VTubers tend to be people in the mid to late 20. People in the mid to late 20. Beautiful. Perfect. Great. Quite a few of them playing younger characters. Among them, the most well-known from Hololive, Marine and Natsuhiro Matsuri, for example. Both are adult playing characters whose age is set to respectively 17 and 16 years old, which is often the topic of jokes. Example, Marine here. Let's see, what's Marine? Marine?
My age is not 34. My age is 17. Second season.
Okay. Her age is 17. Great. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Some other VTuber said that she's 17, so everybody's adults pretending to be kids on there. So it's not weird to sexually roleplay with an adult pretending to be a child. It's not weird. It's partly inherited from idol culture. Oh, it's a cultural thing. Yeah, blame the Japanese for you being a fucking pedophile. Where idol's age is often older than the one official. It's so typical that some characters push the joke to be 0 years old, like Himamori Luna. Countless references, clips, and sources of such occurrences are easy to find all over the web. It's a very common thing. Alright,
Luna は0歳の大人
0-year-old adult. Okay, Alright, I'm gonna be real with you, Ziassan. If this is the kind of evidence that you're gonna present to back up your own case, I don't think this is gonna be a good time reading the rest of this. Look at the rest of this. There's so much more of this. Holy fuck! Just realized I had all right, there we go. I had the thing out of the frame. All right. In a similar way, Sarah Good character is an immortal witch with a body eternally 16. She made multiple mentions of that fact live. Quote, just like Marine, even specifically saying she, the real person, was older herself. Once again, saying it was just like Marine, just like the other VTubers pretending to be younger. Oh. During the only personal audio exchange we had around, what is that, January 12th? I don't know how to read these fucking stupid European days, you guys. Get it the fuck together. Let's deal with that metric system shit, too, while I'm at it. Never mind. She confessed it was to fit her own fantasies related to age play and wanted to preserve that. While she deleted multiple mentions of that fact, I had at the time the presence of mind to screenshot one of those. Let's see. I get these comments even though my character is 16, which is monkas, because they often don't know I'm an adult. Kekwu? Kekw? They often don't know I'm an adult. Okay. Some other similar mentions were still in the logs at the time of writing this document, like this one. See? Let's see. I'm over 18. I was going to university before Corona hit. Monkas. Nah, mates, it's forever 16. What does monkas mean? Saknom? Is it something backwards? No? What does monkas mean? I'm over 18. I was going to university before Corona hit. Okay. This one is well dated from the 28th of January. In some ways, you really feel like an adult stuck in. So first of all, I don't get why he is blanking his own name out of it when it's his fucking Google Doc. This is him trying to defend himself. So this is what? Why would you censor your own name out of it? An adult playing a child. I like my body. I wish I was forever a kid. Should I admit to something horrible? A thought that seems bewildering. He says, what I mean, you could convince people you're 18 if it wasn't for your voice, maybe. Right now, most people think of you as your character because your voice fits its age. Oh. Don't mind the dogs. All right. So already we got some conflicting information. Is she 13? Is she 18? What the fuck is going on here? Let's see. It's not uncommon to preserve the character play, even in private talks. In fact, that was the case during my exchange with the person who wrote the document I'm replying to. Even in private, he kept his character mannerisms, sending me the serious paper with the words, I quote, Saraba da motherfucker. What does that mean? Did you manage to get in touch? I'll stay up to date. Blah, blah, blah. Did you manage to get it? This is a serious statement. Saraba da motherfucker. What does that mean? Saraba da. Saraba da. Sarabada, 10 useful ways to say goodbye. Bye, motherfucker. Alright. Cool message, Kongo. Which is mostly used by fictional characters in a dramatic way. On a side note, regardless of playing a character, this is not exactly the behavior you expect from someone making a serious statement impacting somebody's life. Yeah. Gonna try to ruin your life and then just drop some fucking anime line on you. With the initial agreement of her playing the role of a younger character, I didn't question further and played along for the rest of our talks. While it may seem weird or disturbing to many people, it is true that both her and I had some relative interest / tolerance to that kind of play. I share the belief that when limited to fantasies and roleplay, this behavior is usually harmless. Anyone who followed Sarah Good knows how much she was into these topics. Yeah. Carol, witch Carol, pedophile witch Carol, go look her up. On top of her own initial claims, she made references to media usually known by people older than 20. Example, Danganronpa 1 and 2. Interest and deep knowledge in many kinks and sexual topics you would not really expect from someone young. She had a very high English skill, even by adult Romanian standards, which is not really saying much. To the point someone hearing her would easily think she was American. So she passes as American. That's great. She had knowledge of topics such as psychology and true crime that you also wouldn't expect from a teenager either. The screenshots in this document will show writing that is very hard to believe would ever come from someone that young. She was both able to write well with extensive vocabulary, draw, could receive donations through PayPal, had a Discord where she herself posted pornographic content. Note, in many countries, including Romania, you cannot possess an account if you're under 16. Yeah, so hard to get past that if you're underage. When you come to a website that says, "Are you 18?" If you're not 18, if you're under 18, you're physically incapable of clicking yes. So you have to just leave the site immediately. That's how the internet works. She often made references to past stories, dating years ago, that would barely make sense if she wasn't an adult, like her suicidal girlfriend from 3 years ago. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure 3 years ago, I had a girlfriend. Turns out, yeah, ooh, girlfriend, poggers. She was 1 year younger
Poggers.
than me, but that doesn't matter. Okay, right.
Oh. Gross. Overall, I had little reason to doubt she was in fact an adult. Well, there are several instances in those screen caps where you say, "Oh, just imagine if they knew on 4chan that it was a child writing those fanfics." There was that. Couple other things that I probably don't remember because the shit's just all fucking stupid. Looking through archives, I noticed other people did deeper researches that showed many other factors, such as playing erotic VN in English, Necopera, and others. 6 years ago, before any all-age page existed. Before any all-age page existed. Before any all... God, fucking... cannot say bad enough things about the French. Owning a YouTube account more than 8 years ago, and many others. Due to the personal nature of those data, I will only link on personal requests from trusted parties. I want to insist I wasn't the one doing that research, which I hope it comes to it that IP and or testimony will prove. So part 2 of chapter 1, regarding the nature of our relation. The accusation, you know what? I give up. So this has been an episode of Groomer alert. All right, so the conclusion. We're gonna come to the conclusion. We're just gonna skip right to it. Conclusion is that I just wasted like an hour and a half of my time. Not gonna get that back. Kongou, you're fucking stupid. You're really bad at putting together documents, and I really hope you didn't pay someone to put that together. Ziassan, you are in fact a pedophile. I don't know if grooming is technically what happened here, because there are no facts in any of this shit. This is all just garbage. You're both idiots. Ziassan, you're definitely a pedophile. Get off the internet. Both of you just fucking... look at all this shit. You see, anybody's gonna read all this? Fuck. Alright. Yeah. Nothing really to get out of this. Thanks for watching Groomer Alert with your host Shania Chan. Wow, tune in next time for a breathtaking in-depth look at whatever other degenerate shit is going on in here. All right, Shania Nara, everyone.